What's up, Road Warrior family? It's your boy Wavy checking back in, and today we're in the back of my truck with Wavy Escorts, and we're going to talk about, now that you're certified, what all do you need to hit the road? So now you already did your certification, you already went through that, you already got it out of Utah or Washington, if you're following along with me. So now it's like, what's next? What do I do from here on out to get on the road? The biggest question is, what materials / gear will you need? It's all subjective to everybody. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion. If you go talk to Dan down the street or Patrick up the road, they're gonna have their own idea of what your gear and materials should be. I break it down real simple, real easy, and real quick. You need to figure out a vehicle of your choice. My mother had 2 Toyota Tacomas and then a Chevy Silverado. I went with a Toyota Tundra. The reason being, I'm a big guy, 6'5", and I'm comfortably in my backseat. But the Tacoma was too small. It's a vehicle of your choice, and I would say look for an SUV, a van, whether it's a minivan, a work van, or a truck. The reason being is, yes, you can use a sedan. I don't think I've ever seen a coupe, but you can use a sedan. The only thing is, if you're in a pinch, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in Super Bowl city during the Super Bowl and all the hotels are outrageously priced, you may have to sleep in your car. It's not ideal, but the bigger your car is, the more spacious you have and the more stuff that you could ultimately carry around. If it was me, SUV, truck, van, those would be my choices. Make sure that you're looking for something that has good gas mileage, because you're hitting the road a lot and you're going to be deadheading, you're going to be driving, you're going to be doing all this, you're going to have signs and extra gear and stuff, a light bar on your car and your vehicle, so your gas mileage will go down. So the higher it is to begin with, it's going to drop a little bit, but the better you will be in the long run. Toyota Tundra, I believe that it gets 424 miles per full tank, and that's going to change when I have my top sign up, when we're running in states that require a top sign. So just make sure you're doing your due diligence and figuring out exactly what vehicle works for you. Space wise, look, I guess, is important to a lot of people. Nobody wants to be pulling up in a pink car if you're a man. There might be some of y'all that do. I'm just saying, you get what I'm trying to say. And make sure that your vehicle is reliable. You don't have to go brand new. I got a good deal, so I went brand new. But I'm not here to tell you where to spend your money, how to spend your money, or whatever. I've seen a lot of older vehicles, 2012s, 2015s, 2016s, all the way up to 2025s. It's just make sure that you have something reliable. You don't want your vehicle to get in the way of you losing out on money. You don't want to be under load and boom, transmission blown, head gaskets blown. Now you look goofy and you're only making money up to where you had to say, toodaloos. And we don't want that. So make sure the vehicle's reliable. At the end of the day, you are your own boss. You're gonna be checking in with yourself. Hey, is my car reliable right now? Is it good? Ooh, the check engine light's on. I need an oil change. You have to be remembering all of these things. So yes, it is a little bit of a headache, but make sure that when you're figuring out a car that you want to take on the road, you're doing your due diligence and make sure it's reliable. The second most important thing, at least for me, my opinion, would be your CB radio. Now, there's hundreds of different brands of CB radios. I have a Cobra, I believe, Classic, LTD, something, I don't know. And I'll show y'all that in a separate video when I do the tour of the truck and everything that I have in here. But your CB radio is what you use to communicate with other truck drivers, the actual truck driver, and then other pilot cars. Depending on how big your load is, how heavy, how wide, and how long it is, you may need to have multiple pilot cars. Some only require 1, some states, some require up to 3, 4 per load. So communication is a very big thing, because if I'm going 60 miles per hour and I get hit with a red light, and I know that truck behind me going 60 miles per hour, but I don't tell him, and let's say, for instance, hopefully not, but let's just say he was looking down, or he was trying to switch gears, or he was trying to diddle daddle up here with something, and I didn't call it out. Now he's going 60 miles per hour, red light with 5 feet to stop. That's just not ideal. So communication is a very big thing. That's why I believe that the second most important thing besides your actual vehicle is the radio that you're going to be using to communicate. So now you're going to need oversized load sign. Depending on the state, depends on if you need a top sign or not. Most states west of New Mexico, Arizona, and everything towards California require a top sign. And then everything east of what I just said doesn't typically. I believe Colorado does. Kansas may or may not. I'm not 100% familiar. That's going to be in your rules and regulations book. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm not going to try to sit here and lie and say I do, because I don't, but that's why I keep it in my mind. But make sure that you have at least 2 oversized load signs, one for the front of your vehicle and one for the back. If you're not going to hit California or any of those western states, you're good. Just put one in the front of your car and one in the back. That's the typical ones that you see driving down the road. You'll be be driving on the freeway and it'll say oversized load on their little Toyota Tundra or Chevy Silverado. That's what you get. They're not that expensive. You will need. So obviously an amber light, a light bar, the little patrol looking light. There's different variations that you could come up with. They have to be legal in whatever state you're operating in. So I have a light bar, which I believe I got from, it was somewhere in California, and I'll figure out where I got it and kind of link it in the description. But it's very important because without lights, how are people going to see you? Because not everybody cares about a yellow sign that says oversized load on your car. They're going to need to see like, oh, this is like real deal. It's like seeing a cop car without the lights on. It's like, it's just a cop. Like, let me continue. But if he has his lights on, oh, now you're observant. You're figuring out, okay, am I supposed to be in this way? Do I need to get out the way? Do I need to pull over? What's going on? So make sure that you're getting a light bar. And then obviously in tune with that, make sure you figure out what car you're going to get before you go buy the light bar, because the last thing you need is to spend a lot of money on a light bar and it doesn't fit your vehicle. That would just be goofy. Now, you're also going to need a dash cam. With a dash cam, what that's gonna do is basically protect your butt to make sure that nothing happens. If something were to happen and you called it out and you did your job 100% right, you're good to go. And it's kind of, I don't wanna say mandatory, but if it was me, there's no questions about it. You need a dash just for safety purposes. And then also when you're deadheaded, let's say you're not under load. Let's say you're just driving from your house to a location to go pick up a load. If somebody cuts you off or somebody's at fault and they don't have insurance and there's no cameras on the street lights, how are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just better for your safety and your well-being to stay protected. Now, you're going to need the goodie box. I call it the goodie box because it's a box that you rarely open, but you need. So in this goodie box, you're gonna have cones, flares, flashlights, flashers, fire extinguishers. Those are all mandatory things that you have to have per state. I believe Florida, you have to have 36-inch cones. You have to have at least 3 of them. You need flares for every state. So just having your goodie bag or your goodie box, it's ideal. And then you just throw that in the back of your truck. Sometimes they may ask to see your fire extinguishers and your cones, depending on where you're at. If you enter Florida, you enter a scale house, they're gonna ask to see it. So make sure it's readily available, but you probably will never use it. I pray you never have to use the fire extinguishers, but have them and make sure that they do work and that they are full of, I wanna say oxygen mixed with whatever it is. I don't know what a fire extinguisher is. I've never had to use one, luckily, but there's a way to figure out if it's still usable. Now, along with your CB radio, this is way less important, but also important is a handheld radio. Because if something happens, let's say you have a passenger in your seat, or you have something on your keychain that accidentally hits the wire and it cuts it. So now your CB radio turns off. If you have a handheld radio, you could get close enough to the load to be able to communicate. Or if you have to hop out, direct traffic, or tell the truck driver back up, you got 10 feet, 9 feet, 8 feet, 7 feet, 6 feet, you're on the walkie-talkie, make sure you have a handheld radio. That will come in handy. I haven't had to use mine yet, but I promise you, if I didn't have it and I needed to use it, I would look like a crazy dude. Now, this one is debatable because some of y'all might have a savings account and some of y'all might not. I would say what's important to have though when you do start this is a credit card, preferably one that gives you cash back or points. And the reason being is you're going to spend a lot of money in gas and you're going to spend a lot of money in hotels. Why not get rewarded for spending the money that you're already going to have to spend to get points for future travels? If you have a family and you want to take a vacation every Christmas, why not try to get free flights out of it? Because you're going to be working and swiping that card regardless. Now, granted, if you have a savings account and you don't do credit cards and you got bad credit, I totally understand. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I personally would do. I would go get a credit card, so then that way you don't have to fork out your hard-earned money right away. You have a month to pay it all back. Obviously, not a financial advisor. I know what works for me. I'm just passing the information along to you. You're going to need a vest, and you get those from anywhere, Walmart even, Ace Hardware, Home Depot. But that way, just in case you do have to hop out the car, you're on that walkie-talkie, people won't hit you, because the last thing we need is you to do all this hard work and then you get hit by a vehicle. That would suck. So, Road Warrior family, make sure you're always wearing your vest. I always usually just put mine on at the beginning of the day and I take it off when I get to the hotel room, because that way I forget it's on. I go into gas stations and I forget it's on. It's a little embarrassing, but guess what? I don't care, because people know that I'm in my line of work. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting paid. If you see me with my vest on, I'm making some money. If you don't see me with the vest on, I'm probably still making some money, but not doing the trucking. Now, very vital piece of technology that you will need, at least I believe, is an iPad. And the reason being is because you want to be able to see your route that you have to route yourself, given the permits that the trucking company gives you and the state gives you. You're gonna have to route it. So I use an iPad because iOS is user friendly with this app called EnRoute. EnRoute is like, I wouldn't say the standard, but 98% of truck drivers, 98% of pilot cars, 98% of escort cars use it. It's called EnRoute, and but it's only available on iOS. Hence why it's an iPad. You can use your phone. I just like a bigger screen because I'm already wearing glasses. My mom blessed me with a lot of things in this world, but vision wasn't one. So an iPad is ideal for me. Now, this is very optional, but I would suggest you get and start and create accounts with hotels. Hilton, Marriott, Holiday Inn, Best Western, Choice, Wyndham, anything you could do, a free account, set it up, obtain points, show them that you're a loyal customer, because you're going to be staying, you know, if you're going from California to Florida and it's just you doing a solo run, it might take 7-8 days to get there. So you're going to be staying in 6, 7, 8 different hotel rooms in a week. Well, in those days, if it's all the same one, imagine for every 9 hotel rooms you book with Wyndham, you get a 10th one free. That's going to save you some money in the long run. Make sure y'all are exerting your options when it comes to setting up accounts with these hotels. Once you're certified, you have all your paperwork, all your regulations and stuff. I would say, since I'm in the backseat, I'll show you a binder. A binder is important because this is what you're going to pull out when you get to those scale houses and they are trying to give you a hard time. Like, are you certified? Do you got everything that you're supposed to have? Where's your insurance, your license, your certification, your defensive driving, your permit for Louisiana? Like, all of that goes in the binder. It's a vital piece of gear that I would say you use more times than you would like to, but it's very important to have. You don't want to be the guy who's taking forever because your insurance is above your visor, your license is in your wallet, your certification is under the floorboard of the rear passenger seat. Like, it's just like so much going on. If you put it all in one place in a binder, it might not look the prettiest because mine's just white from Walmart. I think it was like 96 cents or something like that. But guess what? It will save you time. And these truck drivers, they like to be quick and precise. So make sure y'all get a binder. Now, lastly, I haven't made the ebook yet, but I will make an ebook basically listing everything I just said, plus a lot more if y'all want that. And what I think I'll do with that is for the first 25 people to comment ebook, I'll give it to them for free. And then I'll do an extensive list. I'll send it to a couple brokers to be like, hey, what does this look like? Because I got relationships with brokers. Send it with other people who have been doing this for 10 plus years each, and basically get it to a point where it's like, okay, I could give this away for, you know, $7.99 or whatever it is, because it's going to save you. What I'm thinking is the ebook will have everything that you need plus a link to get it and the pricing, and then also multiple options. So it's going to be an intense ebook, but you pay $7.99 and you don't have to go figure out, well, why is this pole better than this pole, and what's this and that, and whoop-de-whoop. And then I didn't even get into the high pole, because a high pole job, you need a high pole, but then that starts doing a ranch hand or a front guard for your vehicle. So it's a lot going on, and there's a lot more that I could dive into, and I think that ebook will help me be able to do that. So like I said, the first 25 people to comment ebook, when that ebook does come out, I will give it to y'all for free. And then after that, maybe $5.99 or $7.99, but it's lifetime access, and you could even pass that on to your kids or your people who want to get into pilot car. With that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, comment down below ebook if you want that free ebook, but also comment down below your vehicle type: SUV, van, truck, sedan, and why you picked that vehicle. Even if you don't have one yet, but you're looking into it, or you already kind of made up your mind like, okay, I want an SUV for this reason, let me know the reason. I just want to know why y'all got what you got, because I know why I got the Toyota Tundra. It's because I'm a big guy and I like the flexibility. I love going golfing, I love fishing, so I just throw everything in the back. And then I love camping, so I just love being outdoors, snowboarding, and a car just wasn't sufficient enough for that. And an SUV, these are cool, but I think a big guy in a big truck is kind of, you know, even cooler. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. That was a little tangent, but I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's get to 50 subs. Once we get to 50 subs, I promise y'all, I'll be going live way more consistently, and I'll be dropping more videos way more consistently. And then once we get to 100 subscribers, let me know what y'all want or what y'all think I should give away. Whether it's I buy 3 cones for somebody who's in the state of Florida or something. I mean, I can't buy nobody no car. 100 subscribers. At 100,000, I might be able to buy somebody a car, but we'll work our way there. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.